dude. I don't know if I can do it. Okay, obviously I know how to calculate the average, but
Wow,
like
this
to put
is
it into
embarrassing.
words is something else.
This is the guy that tried to act like I didn't know what I was talking about.
28.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump by a landslide.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Well, something I've never heard anyone talk about for whatever reason, because it's probably one of the most revolutionary accounts created, is the Trump account for kids. And honestly, I don't even think it's something that you can debate against. But tell me.
It's within the Big Beautiful Bill, small portion of the Big Beautiful Bill. I agree with the Trump accounts aspect of it, but that's a very small portion of the bill, and the bill sucks ass. It cuts 10 million people off their access to health insurance through Medicaid, 2.5 million people on average every single month off their access to food stamps, over 420,000 kids off their access to free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month. Do the Big Beautiful Bill as well, while adds $3.4 trillion to the debt. So that's a very small portion of the bill that would be going to the Trump accounts.
Okay, so just to be clear, you do agree with the Trump account for kids, though, is that correct?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it should be more, and it should be a way to subvert the spending for Social Security over like the next 70 years.
I like to think about the Big Beautiful Bill like a dog turd that's got a lot of shiny sprinkles on it. I'm really concerned that you're so distracted by the sprinkles on that dog turd.
All right, I'll be back.
What makes you concerned about that?
I think that you're not considering the net effect of the Big Beautiful Bill on the cost of living, the quality of life of Americans or people who reside in the country, and instead you're looking at a couple of things that they intentionally sprinkled onto that dog turd to make it more appealing to simple-minded people such as yourself.
Wait, say that last part one more time. I'm sorry.
I think that you're falling for some sprinkles that they sprinkled onto the dog turd to appeal to simple-minded people such as yourself, because I think you have to be reasonably simple-minded to be fooled into eating a dog turd because there are sprinkles on it.
Okay. So,
no tax on tips? What a lovely sprinkle. Please don't put it on a dog turd.
So can I ask you a question, Oscar?
Yes.
In order to change someone's... Yeah, in order to change someone's mind, is it required for you to be condescending?
No, it's not a requirement, but it's a tool in the toolbox.
Oh, okay. What makes you think that's a useful tool in the toolbox?
I used some social skills that I've developed in my 31 years on Earth to detect that you were being a little condescending, so I decided to match that type of energy.
Oh, really? What in what part of the conversation so far, the past 2 minutes or so that I've been on here, I've been condescending?
I've interpreted your tone.
You've interpreted my tone.
I think you're working really hard to sidestep my approach to this, because I think that if we were to look at this on paper, sure, yeah, there's nothing in the transcript that's all that condescending, but I really think you're not interested in addressing the concern here, which is that the Big Beautiful Bill is a dog turd that you are perfectly happy to eat because some people put some sprinkles on it. I think that's very silly, and I think that my accusations about your approach to this were warranted given that, and I'm giving you a perfectly good opportunity to defend yourself on that, and instead you're upset that I'm being a little condescending, which I think is warranted in this case, as I said.
Okay. I mean, I don't think personally, I don't think I've said anything out of line. So
I didn't say anything out of line. I think that you said things that demonstrated that you're being a little bit simple-minded, and your tone suggests to me that you're a little condescending about your approach to these policies, even in consideration of the fact that the net benefit or cost to everyday people of the Big Beautiful Bill is a very negative one.
All right, so just to be clear, subjectively speaking, you think there's some condescending nature in my voice, but objectively speaking, there's no condescending
why
nature.
You are eating a dog turd covered in sprinkles. Why are you doing that? That's very alarming behavior. Don't do that.
Yeah, and I'm just asking you, is it a requirement to be condescending or talk down to someone when you're
How is that condescending?
I was being condescending. I told him it wasn't required, but it's a tool in the toolbox, and it is one I chose to use.
What did Oscar say that was condescending?
I mean, he just told you can ask him.
Well, actually, he just interpreted that my tone was kind of condescending, and I told him that I detected that his tone was kind of condescending and decided to match energies. So we both have no transcriptional evidence of condescension. We could move on to my point about why he's interested in eating a dog turd covered in sprinkles, but he doesn't want to talk about that.
Yeah, Joseph, how could you say that he was being condescending based upon you identifying that from his tone, but you think it's unjustified for him to think that you're being condescending?
I called him simple-minded.
He called me a simple-minded person.
I have good reason, though,
and
I explained my reasons.
Is that condescending? Okay, I mean,
Um,
okay, if you want to cry about that, go for it.
Yeah, I have good reasons. He doesn't want to address them.
Do you want to address anything he said, or you just want to hyperfixate on him calling you simple-minded? That sounds pretty
well,
simple-minded
all
to
he
me.
asked me if all he did was ask me about something about dog turds. So I don't know what it is you're.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's an
you're
analogy.
tracking my
Do you
analogy.
know
I
what
can
that
explain
is?
it again if you need me to.
Yeah, do you know what an analogy is?
Oh, so it must be a requirement for both of you to be condescending in order to change someone's mind.
What was condescending about what I said there?
You asked, assumingly, if I knew what a term meant, what the definition of.
Oh, okay. So wait, are you assuming? Wait, so objectively, can you determine that I was being condescending there, or are you just assuming that based upon me asking a question? It sounds like you're assuming that subjectively based upon me asking a question. So I don't think that you have a objective analysis there on whether or not I was being condescending.
Hey, Parker, has anyone ever told you?
Wait, do you accept that as an argument? Because that was the argument you just cited to Oscar.
Has anyone ever told you you're a beta male?
Yeah, and they've always been wrong. So what makes you think that I'm a beta male?
You just come across as very feminine.
Okay, wait, what about being feminine makes you beta?
It's not the typical characteristic of a man. That's all.
Okay, wait, so are you saying that you only have typical characteristics of men?
Say that one more time?
Are you saying that all of the characteristics you have are those that are typical of men? I have lots of characteristics that are not typical of men. Right, because
I think what he's saying is that is that what makes you a man is exhibiting the typical characteristics of being a man, not something like chromosomes or genitals or anything weird like that. Probably just whether or not you've ascribed.
Yeah, because I was like, if I'm above average as a man, right, within like almost every other measurable characteristic, like is that going to make me beta?
What makes you perceive yourself as above average?
Well, I mean, I don't have to specify the specific qualities. I'm just asking you if I am above average within basically every quality. I'm just asking you, does that make me beta or?
Well, that itself is probably to be debated. So.
Wait, no, I'm saying if that's true.
If that's true?
Yeah.
So if you were above average
within basically every metric, which is unlikely to be the case, would that make me beta?
Give me an example.
I'm just saying. I asked you a very simple question. It tells you you're very simple-minded, right? Can you answer the question, right? If I have characteristics that are not typical of men because I'm above average within basically every characteristic, would that then make me beta?
Well, that's a completely different argument. You're saying if you have characteristics of a man that is above average, typically speaking, then that's not typical. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's not typical. Does that make me beta? It's not typical of a man to be above average within all of those qualities. So is that making me beta?
I don't think that argument makes any sense.
It does, because you made an argument that I'm feminine. The reason why it's wrong to be feminine is because the fact that it's not typical of men. Okay, I brought up something that's not typical of men to be above average within most characteristics, which then you aren't going to be considered as beta, so you have to redefine what you consider beta as, or you don't really have an argument. It seems like you're simple-minded and below average on plenty of things.
Oh, man, you're condescending, but it's funny. I get a kick out of it. It's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Good. That's why there's a stream of 7,700 people in the TikTok stream. Now go ahead.
They all still want to know why he's eating the dog turd with the sprinkles on it, but we've gotten far enough away from it that a lot of people have joined and probably don't know what that analogy means.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, and also bro, again, you literally consider me feminine, but then you can't describe why you think it's wrong to be feminine.
Because it's not the typical characteristics of a man. Wait, hold on.
I just showed you how that contradicted itself. Because again, if you're above average within most characteristics, under your view, you're beta. Because then you don't have characteristics that are typical of a man.
That's not true. Those characteristics are just
You think it's typical of men to be above average within every characteristic? That makes zero fucking sense proportionally. I'm sorry, use your brain.
No, but that's a different argument. You're just saying...
No, it's not. It's the exact same argument you provided. You just don't want to accept it because you're a beta loser.
No, you're just saying you have characteristics of a man, but they're above average then...
No, I said...
They're just above average. That's all you're saying.
I said I'm a man, and I have characteristics that are above average comparative to the rest of men.
But do you have characteristics that resemble a man? That would be the difference. or characteristics
I
that
don't know
resemble a
what
woman.
characteristics that we're not talking about what we see as a man or a woman. What are you talking about? We're talking about right now specifically whether you see alpha or beta and whether it's prevalent or not. You said specifically beta. It means that it is bad. Or sorry, not beta. You said that being feminine is bad, right? Because you think that it's not prevalent amongst men. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I gave you another characteristic that's not prevalent amongst men. Does that make you beta?
So just to be clear, if those characteristics are typical of a man, however, you're just above average in those categories.
What does typical mean? What percent does it have to be typical?
50% or more.
50% or more. Okay, so
Or I guess
so I'm 6 foot tall. Is it feminine for me to be 6 foot tall?
What is that?
It doesn't. Wait. 50% of men are not 6 foot tall. So is it feminine for me to be 6 foot tall? Is it beta for me to be 6 foot tall?
Oh dang, I'm 6 feet tall. Shit.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because it makes up less than 50% of the population of men. You see how he's just completely lost, dude. You're just getting dog walked. How does it feel? How does it feel, dude? You're just getting destroyed, man. It's really sad. Like, I can just hear you're stunned, bro.
You're bringing up things that are adjacent. They're similar, but they're not the point.
No, it's literally your logic. It's your logic owning yourself.
No, you're just
you're getting owned by your own logic, and you just don't like it.
You're bringing up topics that are adjacent.
I love your cope laughing. It's really funny.
You're bringing up topics.
Hey, Rebel, thank you very much for the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. For why don't Republicans ask where the money is coming from? The $1,000 for babies they do when it comes to healthcare or paying for college. Healthcare for paying for college. Yeah, that's actually very true. That's very true. And they never ask where the money's coming from when it comes to like the military or the defense contractors, but they will ask for it when it comes to like healthcare access, childcare access, and education and things like that.
Oh, this brings up a good point too. Like
of why you're beta, Joseph? Is that what it is?
Okay.
Because you have a characteristic that's not typical of men. It's to be this fucking stupid.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you know what? That might be typical of men. My bad.
So funny enough, I don't know why you do this sometimes, but maybe it's just like jokingly. You'll like ask your guests to like thank your donators.
You want to do that?
I think the people.
You want to thank Kelsey for the $2?
No, I think the people donating to you need to save their money and stop donating to you. It's really
why
stupid.
So? Why is that stupid?
Why are they spending their hard-earned money to donate to you?
Because they want to. Like, Borns, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's so ridiculous, and it's pathetic, I might say. Cults, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the Galaxy. Thank you very much. They want to send me their money because they like my content. Like, Sarah, thank you so much for the Chasing the Dream. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sarah. Can you thank Sarah for the Chasing the Dream?
My reason might be a little bit too different, a little bit different than Parker's. I hired a couple people to help me run the show, so I have like a jobs creation program. So I think it's pretty good for the economy for people to send me money because I'm creating jobs.
Based. And then trickle down. What can I say? Trickle down.
W Raven, W staff.
And then you guys cry about how bad the economy is because of Trump, and then yet these people are spending all their discretionary income on donating to you guys. Like, it makes no sense.
You think that someone is spending all of their discretionary income on my live?
Okay, it was an exaggeration. If you
that's a bit of an exaggeration. So because someone has some free money to be able to send me money does not mean that the economy overall is doing good. The economy would be doing better if Democrats were in office. That's the point we'd make. Scruffy, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much for my hard-earned money. Thank you very much.
Really, because someone who
Claire, thank you for the $10 for quit my job to move, and most liberals have jobs and money.
Because someone who's savvy with their income, you know, the stock market's performed very well under Trump.
Actually, lower in growth rate for comparative to the last year and a half under Biden. Dow Jones grew at a higher rate the last year and a half under Biden. S&P 500 grew at a higher rate, and so did NASDAQ by almost a 2 times higher rate.
Where are you getting these? What?
If you look up Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and S&P 500, you can do the math yourself. I have the math like in front of me if you want to know.
From what time periods?
It's the last year and a half of Biden versus the first year and a half under Trump.
Okay. Okay, so that's a clear case of recency bias. That's hilarious.
How? It's the trend that existed for the last year and a half under Biden versus the first year and a half under Trump.
Yeah, so why are you just looking at recency bias?
So do you know anything about investing, Parker?
Yes,
this shows that you know nothing about investing.
Okay, tell me what I don't know.
That's not what the recency bias is.
Because you're just looking at the the most short term. Okay, so we could look at certain periods and pick certain periods where, yeah, maybe Biden's market performed better than Trump's, but overall in the long term, and yes, Trump has had a second term, whereas Biden has not. But even in Trump's first term, the stock market was much better than Biden's.
So can you tell us what a recency bias is?
Yes. I like the NFL. I'm going to use the NFL as an analogy.
No, what is a recency bias?
Yeah, can I use an analogy to describe
No,
it?
I'm not asking for an example. I'm asking for a definition.
Oh, so you're not going to let me use an analogy to describe it?
No, I'm not asking for an example. I'm asking for a definition.
Okay, so do you not know what a recency bias is? Is that why you're asking me to define it?
No, I'm asking you to clarify because I don't think you know what it is.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I don't know what it is, but I just used it and essentially
so tell us.
it to you.
So describe it
As to why you were using a recency
So
bias.
say it.
Well, I need to make sure I can come up with I can come up with a definition, okay? Just give me like 30 seconds or so.
Oh, you're gonna go ask ChatGPT for help?
Do you not know what it is, Parker? Do you not know what it is, Parker? How fucking embarrassing, dude. Are you not embarrassed right now?
Frankly, I don't think he knows.
Do you want me to tell you? I can just tell you. It's a cognitive bias where people give disproportionate weight specifically to the most recent information, at the expense of more representative data that can come from an older timeline. Okay? The reason why I didn't provide you a recency bias is because of the fact that I'm giving you the most representative data, right, of what it was under Biden comparative to Trump, because I'm demonstrating the trend that existed prior to Biden or prior to Trump getting in office versus the trend that now exists since Trump got in office. So what he inherited versus what he has then caused since he got in office. So this is the most representative data set I could reference, right, for the comparison. So it's not a recency bias because of that, genius.
Well, it still is because
It's
you're favoriting certain periods in time where Biden's market did perform in favor of Trump's.
But that's not what the recency bias is.
No, it's the last year and a half of Biden versus the first year and a half under Trump. That's the best way to look at it in terms of trends. If you took an economics class, that's how they would tell you make these determinations, is you take a look at the difference in trend and then you account for variables that could have caused those particular outcomes. So that's how you address these in economics. You don't understand that. And it seems like you don't really understand investment very much either.
No, this actually proves my point that you actually don't know much about investing.
What makes you think that?
Because you're using short-term trends to then show that somehow the stock market has performed better under Biden, when in reality, in the long term, if you look at the long-term picture since Trump's first term and just look at those 4 years and then how he's done the past year and a half or 2 years or so, it's actually performed much better under Trump.
Okay, what's your source?
The S&P. You can just look at the S&P 500.
Yeah, I've done the math, and you're wrong.
That's incorrect.
No, I did math. Even if you look at the S&P 500 growth, if you look at the entirety of Biden's administration, it still has higher growth rate. Like the average for the entirety of Biden's admin is higher growth rate than what it is right now.
I would like to commend Parker for only using the last year and a half, because if he used the entire thing, it would include all of the pandemic rebound, and that would be a little unfair, because that would make Joe Biden look really good if we're just looking at the S&P.
Especially on jobs numbers, because now he's going to account all the 15 million jobs numbers. That's also another point, is that he doesn't think that it wouldn't be more representative because it would include COVID, which could affect the results of the data. So again, not a recency bias because of all of those facts. And I've proven you wrong on all these points, and you clearly you have nothing to say at this point.
No, you haven't proven me wrong.
Ashley, thank you very much for the $10 for here's all my discretionary income. Now I don't have any to invest in that amazing stock market. I know, right? Matthew, thank you very much for the $25 for happy to send you all my hard-earned money. Thank you so much, Matthew. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Claire, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Jamie, thank you for the dollar for here's my last dollar of hard-earned money. Thank you so much, Jamie. I appreciate your last dollar. Money, 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 money. Thank you so much. Kaylee, thank you very much. Really appreciate the $20. Thank you very much, because I can. Tell this guy to stop crying and get his money up. Thank you very much, as well as Alexandra. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you very much for sending this because you forced me. No one would donate out of free will, right? I know, right? Absolutely insane. Virginia, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. We didn't plan on donating to anyone this week, but here we are. Thanks. I really appreciate it. Thank you, as well as Farnham. Thank you very much for the $10 for never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
they're
just
all
had to do
probably
that
gonna
for
be
you.
broke next month. They're gonna be sad for donating to you. But
Okay, so you think
anyway.
everyone's gonna be broke from donating to me?
Of course, again, it was an exaggeration. You're taking it literally, but yeah.
I feel like you have to be so unbelievably jealous to like say that on the stream. Like I
Okay.
feel like most Trump supporters, like if you're not jealous, they just like keep engaging the debate and they wouldn't even talk about that. But like the fact that you felt the need to bring that up on the stream genuinely is so funny to me because I can tell you're jealous. I can tell it really hurts you emotionally. And like you're raging very hard on the inside. Whenever I say
Yeah.
off my glass, thank you so much. I really appreciate
Yeah,
off
it
my glass
hurts
for
me
the
so
$10
much,
for
Parker.
must not donate. Oh no!
And clearly, I think you guys forgot about this. This also shows me you don't follow the stock market because did you guys forget about the crash in 2022?
Borns, thank you very much for the $10.
something
Thank
you
you
all
very
just
much. Really
forgot
appreciate it.
about?
Mario, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much for charity fund for Beta Joseph.
Yeah. Okay. So no comment to the crash in 2022.
Oh, even if you account for that, you still see an increase overall on average, higher
Well,
than
that's
what you see
true.
right now under Trump.
So
2022
2021
was that
was a good year.
Was that the Omicron
give you that.
variant crash?
Yep. It's because of
Cool.
the fact that there was impacts in terms of supply chains around the world due to global inflation, not even related to the Biden-Harris administration. What did the Biden-Harris administration do to cause the inflation?
We're not talking about that specifically. We're just talking about how the stock market performed under these certain leaders.
Okay, so you're saying how the stock market performed under these leaders. Okay, and if you look at the stock market growth, it was higher specifically under the Biden administration.
That's not true. In Trump's first term
I've done
in
the math.
2016.
I have done the math. If you look at Trump's first term in terms of
Okay,
stock,
what's the difference in growth?
yeah. So if you look at the last year and a half under Trump's administration, right, it's around 15% specifically, or 15.66%, or for the Biden-Harris administration, sorry. And then for the Trump administration, it's 14.5% on an annual basis.
See, again, you're cherry pick. Okay, you can't win the debate because
That's
you're
not cherry picking. I look at the
cherry-picking.
entire of Biden's administration. And I look at the last year and a half under Trump.
So you're not going to consider 2016 to 2020 whatsoever.
Yeah, 2016, Obama was an office genius.
Okay, 2017 to 2021, you're not going to consider that whatsoever.
All right, you want me to do that? I can go over the data. I can do that numbers myself. I don't think that it's going to look great for you because you know COVID.
No, because
caused,
I know for a fact.
You know
the
for a
stock
fact
market
what?
perform better.
Okay, well we can take a look. I'll do the math right now if you want to talk to Oscar while I do. Wait, but before you do so, can you thank Pat for the $7 actually?
Pat, I think you're an idiot for donating $7.
Can you thank Katie for the $1?
Katie, at least you didn't donate too much money. Just don't.
Can you thank Kiera for the $1 as well?
Yeah, don't donate any more.
Can you thank William for the $5?
No, you guys are idiots.
Can you thank Farnham for the $5? Can you thank
no.
them for the money real quick?
No, why would I thank them if I think they're stupid?
Well, because you're gonna be nice to them. Like, why do you have to be so rude? Like, you're so condescending and rude. It's crazy. Yeah, seriously, dude, you're so condescending and rude. It's unbelievable. All right, go ahead. Talk to Oscar. I'll do the math.
Yeah, I've got some questions, but before that, could you thank Alex for giving me $15 on Buy Me a Coffee?
Oh, someone's donating to you too? Oh, Jesus Christ. We got a lot of stupid people in this world. Holy shit.
How does that make them
I
stupid?
really am much more curious though why you are so interested in these particular figures like the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones and all that stuff. When the economic figures that actually really influence what quality of life is like for like everyday working Americans, particularly the 60% of us who are still living paycheck to paycheck, like things like the unemployment rate, things like inflation, things like the cost of housing, like all these things. Like why are you not so concerned about those things, but much more concerned about the stock market indices, which much more disproportionately represent the prosperity of the wealthy?
Well, if you were a smart middle-class citizen or even a smart lower-income household, you would see that investing is extremely important. and that actually would benefit you if
But
you were
people don't
invested.
get to invest in the stock market unless those other more basic things are covered, like their basic needs, their cost of their groceries, their wages. Yeah, they need to have wiggle room on that equation to be able to put enough money away to benefit from the growing stock market. So why are you unconcerned with making sure that middle and lower class Americans have money to invest, then that the money invested by the wealthy is growing rapidly?
So are you trying to change topics because you're conceding the stock market argument? Is that what this is?
No, I mean Parker's busy looking up data on that.
I'm
just
literally
curious why you care so
doing
much about the
the
stock
math
market.
for you right now. Like, what the fuck are you
Yeah.
talking about?
There's 3 of us here. We're all adults. I'm sure we can handle 2 topics at once. I think we can manage it. I'm just really curious why you care so much before we hear the data.
Why I care so much? I have to explain why I care about the stock market.
Yeah, I just explained very clearly why I think it's important for you to explain why you care so much more about the stock market than the actual economic figures that demonstrate what life is like for everyday working Americans.
Well, I've already told you like 5 different times why it's important.
Right. Why is it more important to you than making sure that middle and lower class Americans have money to invest in that growing stock market? Why is it more important to you than that? Because if we're going to go by those figures, Biden was a great president and Trump is a fucking terrible president.
Clearly people do have a lot of discretionary income if they're donating to you guys. So,
well,
dude, donating to us does not mean that everyone has a lot of discretionary income. What are you talking about?
Look,
like,
the
dude,
success
this
of
guy's
my program.
economic analysis is so stupid, dude.
Look, I can forgive him. The numbers around my show and its growth rate are, in fact, very impressive. Much more impressive than the growth rate of the stock market. But much like the stock market, the growth rate of my show is not actually a particularly good indicator of what life is like for working Americans. Why are you not interested in the figures that do represent what life is like for working Americans?
Well, I never said I wasn't interested.
I'm asking you why you were more interested in the stock market instead of that, and you are stalling. Because you want Parker to come back so that you can look at the stock market again, but you're just going to... I'm actually going to ask Parker to wait until, even if he has the data ready, I'd like for him to wait, if it's okay for me to ask his co-host. I think I want an answer as to why it is so much more important that we look at the stock market instead of making sure that everyday working Americans get to participate in the stock market.
Well, I never made that claim. I don't remember ever making that claim. So where'd you come up with that?
You are behaving in a way that would suggest to any reasonable person who speaks English that is your priorities. Are those not your priorities?
Okay, so you're fishing now. So now it's clear that I never made that claim. So now you're fishing for that information.
Is that claim accurate or not?
Well, I never made that claim, so I don't know where
yes
you
or
came
no.
up
Is
with
the
that.
claim accurate or not?
No, I never agreed that.
I didn't say that
the stock market was
I
more
interpreted it
important than these
myself.
other...
I made the claim. I argued that that's my assessment of you. Is my assessment of you accurate? Yes or no?
No, I wouldn't agree that the stock market alone is any more important than any of these other metrics specifically. But however,
then why are you focusing on the stock market when assessing the economic performance of presidents? Because that's the thing that you're doing that suggests to me that you think that the stock market is more important than those more everyday applicable to everyday working Americans economic figures.
Well, hold on. Well, you didn't let me finish. I just wanted to say, however, the stock market is important when it comes to determining the economic livelihood of the nation. And it is an indicator.
Specific question. My question very specifically is, why are you so focused on the stock market indices instead of the economic figures that represent what life is like for working Americans when assessing the economic performance of your president?
What?
My question is, when assessing the economic performance of a president, why are you more interested in stock market indices than figures that represent what the economic conditions of everyday working Americans are like, especially in consideration of the fact that 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, which means that they cannot participate in the stock market because they do not have money left over to invest?
Okay, so this is your debate logic. When you sense that you're losing in the stock market argument, you have to pivot to another discussion.
You are doing a thing. I am asking why you are doing it.
No. There is no objective proof that I'm doing that.
That's his response, by the way.
What?
Come on, bro.
Dude, like, really, come on. Like, seriously.
You guys are laughing at me, but you guys are the ones who make absolutely no sense.
No, but you're sitting here stalling because you want to talk about the stock market instead of the economic figures that represent
Because
what life
you
is
know
like
I'm
for
right
everyday
about the
working
stock
Americans.
market.
60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and you're not interested in making sure that those people have money left over to invest in the stock market that you're very excited about the growth of. Why is that?
See, this is exactly what happens to the other guests that come on these TikTok lives. You know, okay, I have to give you guys something. You guys do this every day, so you do have skills when it comes to debating. And when someone else is losing an argument and they try to change the discussion,
No, I was
then
just
you get
literally
on to
doing.
them
Hey,
about trying to change the discussion, and that's
Joseph.
exactly what you're
Parker's
trying to
looking
do
up
to
the
me right
numbers.
now.
Joseph.
Parker's looking up the numbers. I'm asking why you're so interested in
I
the
think you're
numbers.
incredibly
everybody
fucking
can track what's
dishonest and
going on.
stupid. Yeah, like I'm literally looking up the
No.
numbers. I told you I'm looking up the numbers. You can talk to Oscar while I look up the numbers, and then you're complaining that he's like pivoting when I'm like looking up the numbers while you do that. And by the way,
Because
Lied to
he's
my
doing exactly you guys are doing exactly what you claim other guests on the show come to do, and I'm just calling you out for it. That's all. So you're being hypocritical.
that's not us being hypocritical. Now, can you let me?
No, it is. It is.
It's not
There's
because
very
it's not
clear
because he's
hypocrisies
talking
here.
to you about something while I'm looking it up. What do you want him to talk to you about?
Oh,
The
sorry,
numbers
are you
I'm
mad?
looking up right now?
Did I just make you mad?
I'm asking you, what do you want him to talk to you about? The numbers I'm looking up right now?
No, I'm just proving the hypocrisy. That's all. That's
What
all.
hypocrisy?
I just told you. I don't need to explain it.
How
again.
is it hypocritical
Rewind the live.
if you can't talk about it until I give you the numbers?
What's up?
I told you guys to talk while I look up the numbers. How is it moving the topic if I told you guys to talk about something else while I look these numbers up?
Yeah. How long does it take you to look up the numbers, Parker?
It takes a while to calculate all of them because I have to find the specific. I just did, by the way. I'm done now.
Maybe if
I
you
just
answered
finished.
some of my questions, we'd be talking about them already, but we're not because you're still stalling on this thing. Also, live from my babies. Thanks for the $25 on Cash App for the message. Got him.
Man, you guys really don't like.
Hey, buddy, can you let me tell you the numbers now?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so the number is the exact same level of growth that we see the entirety of the Biden administration if you take out the 4 years overall. It's around 15.7% for both Trump's first admin and Biden's administration. The exact same growth rate. But if you look at the last year and a half under Biden's administration, had higher than 15.7% growth rate. The level of growth rate was exceeding 16.9%, around 17%.
I don't know where you're finding that number because the total growth.
Wait, I'm sorry. You directly go to S&P 500 and you just look up on S&P 500 and you calculate from the end of end of January 2017 to beginning of January 17, 2021, right? Or January 20, 2021, and then you take January 20th, 2021 to January 20th, 2025. That's how you get the numbers.
Dude, I just want to point out that I think it's hilarious that this guy's trying to have a conversation with economics about us, and he asked for a source on you saying what happened to the S&P 500. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, oh wait, I'm sorry. I literally gave you the source, and you just got fucking cooked.
No, what date range did you use again? Say it one more time.
January 20th, 2017 to January 20th, 2021. From January 20th, 2021 to January 20th, 2025.
Okay, yeah, that's. No, I know, but that makes no sense because during that date range, the total growth rate of the S&P, I believe, should be like around 62%, the total growth.
Yeah, minus that by 5. Do 62 divided by 5, or divide by 4, I mean, sorry. What's 62 divided by 4? Give him a second, everybody. What is 62 divided by 4? Answer the question.
Yeah, it's 15.5.
Oh.
No. But here's
so exactly the number I just cited, actually lower than the number I just cited. So actually lower than Biden.
No, that's not.
Yeah,
that's
it
not
is.
True.
62 divided by 4 is 15.5. It was 15.7 for Biden. Cooked.
No, because that's actually not how you calculate average annualized growth.
What?
You
take the number of growth and you minus it by the number of years. Are you that fucking stupid?
No, that is so not true. That is so not true.
You take the level of growth of the period and you divide it by the number of years. That is how you do it.
Wait, he's technically right because the number that you would have to raise to the power 5 in order to get that growth rate over 5 years. So that would be the correct way to calculate. That's you need to do a logarithm of some point. But the fact remains that
wait, let me clarify. I'm specifically saying that once you've calculated the overall level of change between those, you just divide it by 4.
Hey Parker,
You
do
don't
you know
have
what
to
a
do a log
time
in
do
order
you know
to
what
be
a
able to
time
get
value of
the.
money calculation is? You're an
Wait,
economics student, right? Do
I
you know what
understand.
time value of money is? That's not how you
I do.
that's not how you calculate it.
Wait, I'm sorry. So you think that it's going to be something other than you take the annualized growth rate over 4 years divided by 4 to get the annual growth rate?
That's not how you calculate it. That's not a
So
correct
tell me
time value of
how you
money
calculate it.
calculation. Well, you need a
Is that not an
financial
average over
calculator.
those 4 years?
You need a financial calculator that can calculate time value of money. Do you
Wait,
know
wait,
what
wait.
time value of money
Wait, tell
is,
me
Parker?
what differently I would do about the calculation.
Well, I just told you need a financial calculator that can
I'm just telling
calculate
you,
what's
like,
called
what
time
specifically.
value of money.
I understand. What specifically in the equation would be different?
I don't know the equation specifically, but you need a time value of money calculator that can calculate
Wait,
time value of money.
wait, sir. I'm talking about. I'm not talking
But
about
it's not.
Sir, we're not talking about compound interest right now. We're talking about percent change over 4 years.
Yeah, and that's still not you still didn't calculate it correctly, but anyway.
What about it did I not calculate correctly?
Well, again, I don't know the exact equation, but if I had my time value of money calculator, then I could calculate it for you.
So,
I did the
sir,
math. It's about 10%, because if you take 1.1 and you raise it to the power of 5 to represent the compound interest that you'd have over 5 years, which is the same equation for growth rate over 5 years. So it's a slightly different calculation, but it doesn't matter when you compare when you're comparing these two periods, Biden's term and Trump's first term. The bigger number still wins. You are supposed to calculate it logarithmically, though.
It's okay, Parker. You can't be right about everything. Okay, it's okay.
I'm genuinely I'm gonna be totally honest. Don't understand how that's wrong. I took the percent change is equal to 100 times the final minus initial divided by initial, and then I took that annualized or that growth rate overall, and then I divided by 4. So what's wrong about that?
That's not how you calculate average annualized rate of return.
Growth rate's not additive; it's exponential. So each previous year's numbers affect what the change is the following year, because the following year's growth rate. But again, this is all still an
wait, I understand that.
oversimplification. Yeah, because if you take the annualized growth rate, which is like I calculated to be something more like 10%, and then you raise that to the power of 5 to get the number of years, like that's still less accurate than doing the calculation for what happened on any particular day. Like these are all approximations of what actually happened in the market. And again, like I get math shit wrong on my show all the time. It doesn't mean that Trump is bad for the economy for like a calculation error to happen.
Yeah, and also like
because if you no matter how you do the math, Biden still grew the economy more.
so, but like I guess the point I'm referencing is I'm not trying to find the change over each year. I'm trying to find the change over the 4-year period, and I'm trying to find the average change over the 4-year period.
You can look at what the change over the 4-year period is and compare it to the percent change over a different 4-year period, but you can't estimate an annualized growth rate by dividing what that percentage is, because each year exponentially affects the growth of the next year. So you use a logarithmic calculation. But again, we are still comparing apples to apples in terms of one president versus another president's effect on the stock market, which, by the way, completely assumes that nothing else interesting happens in the world that might affect the stock market, which, there's a couple of interesting years that we had there between Trump 1 and Biden's only term. But yeah, once again, we could sit here and argue about the best way to calculate exactly like what, whether we want to go by annualized growth rate or just look at the entire 4-year period. It still doesn't change the fact that the economy grew faster under Biden.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
See, and that's the thing that happens. If there's like the tiniest little mistake, you feel like you've won the entire debate, even though your entire premise is still wrong.
We can.
So was growth rate higher
disagree.
for Trump or for Biden?
For Biden.
I'm asking. I was asking the guest. Sorry.
Sorry.
Wait, what? Say it one more time.
Was growth rate higher for Biden or for Trump?
Yeah, the average annualized rate of return that you miscalculated, by the way, that we finally confirmed. And it's okay, Parker. You can be wrong sometimes. It's okay to be wrong sometimes.
Okay, the growth over the 4-year period, 62%, right?
I believe so.
And the growth rate over that same period for Biden was higher, correct?
No, I think Biden was about 52. I think it was 62 to 52.
You're wrong. It was because it's the same year period. It's 4 years, okay? So over that time period, if you look at the number, it's higher than that.
No. What?
Yes, I can give you the number right now because I've done the math for this.
I don't know if I trust your math though, Parker.
Okay. So it was around 63%.
Yeah, I don't know. How'd you do the math? Can you do the equation for me, Parker?
Yeah, I told you already the percentage calculating equation is 100 times final minus initial divided by initial.
Okay.
Do you accept that calculation?
Also, the annual number is just not going to be as accurate in comparing the two terms as just the total number for the 4 years, which is just deals with the start and end of each of their terms. But he doesn't care. Don't chuckle.
Man, you guys are hilarious. So I have to give you that. You guys are pretty entertaining.
I like how he still
But,
hasn't engaged with the point. Like, you were wrong.
Well, no, you're wrong. That's what's funny about it. Okay,
I'm not.
first of all, you miscalculated average annualized rate of return.
He like keeps harping on this point.
Secondly, your total rate of return is
He
not
like
accurate.
the amount of times he said that is crazy, but he can't respond to the fact that the growth rate is higher over the period.
No, it's not. That you're incorrect.
Yes, it
That's
is.
the
I did the math for you.
That's what's funny about it.
Dude, the math I'm looking at over the 4-year period. Do you agree over the 4-year period, if you average it out, that's going to have you a higher growth rate specifically under Biden as opposed to Trump?
No, you're incorrect.
That is totally correct. I did the math. Can you tell me how you get an average?
Yes.
Yeah, how do you get an average? What's the equation?
The silence.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what is the average equation?
Yeah, if you take each sample, let's say you have 3 different buckets, and each of those buckets have different samples. You take
I asked you for the equation, sir.
the equation.
Yeah.
Of average, of what an average
How do you
is.
calculate average? Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I don't know if I can do it. Okay, obviously I know how to calculate the average, but
Wow,
like,
this
to put
is
it
embarrassing.
into words is something else.
This is the guy that tried to act like I didn't know what I was talking about. I asked you, what is the equation for an average? And he can't tell me.
No, I can tell you. I've just never like had to like put it into words before. Of course I know the equation.
Then go ahead.
Or I know how to calculate it.
I feel like
So you take the numeric values of each sample and you divide it by the number of samples. That gives you the average, right?
Okay, so it's the change in X over the change in T, right?
Right.
Okay. So that's exactly what I did. I averaged out the specific numbers. The change in X was 63%, or it was 62%, what you said, divided by 4. Okay, that gives you an average over the 4 years. And then I compared that to the Biden administration, which was around 63, divided by 4. That gives us an average over the 4 years at a slightly higher rate than what it was the 4 years under Trump's administration. Would you then agree, if I did that, that would then mean the growth rate, right, on average, was higher under Biden as opposed to Trump?
No, because again, your calculation for average annualized return is.
Well, I'm not
incorrect.
referencing annualized right now. I'm referencing average.
Well, that's not how you properly assess.
This is how you properly assess over 4 years. Yes, it is.
I disagree. So this also confirms to me you know nothing about investing. But that's okay, because you don't know what. Can you tell me what time value money is, Parker?
Can you engage with the point I'm making before you ask me some random questions? Can you agree that if over the 4 years there was a higher level of growth in terms of the percentage, right, as opposed to what it was under the Trump administration, that then you would be wrong with claiming that under Trump's first term that it was better off in terms of stock market growth under the S&P 500?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get to an agreement here. So,
but Parker is right that you can compare these two things and see that which one is bigger. Like, you're working really hard to go down an economics rabbit hole deep enough that we don't have to look at two numbers and tell which one is bigger.
Okay, do you mind if I leave the app real quick and look in the S&P 500 numbers? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can. I'll thank some people in the meantime. Let me thank some people overall. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Claire, thank you very much for the $8.89. Thank you very much for keeping it up. El Guest, thank you very much. Shannon with the $50. Thank you very much. I can't with MAGA anymore. It gets worse by the day, and they're scared of facts and proof. # Parker for president. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Shannon. Because the W's for Shannon in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. MK, thank you for the $25. Thank you very much, MK. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Here's some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much. Here's some W's for them. As well as Pat, thank you very much. I really appreciate the $3. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Libby, thank you for the $15. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Libby, thank you. Jason, thank you for the $1. As well as Chris, thank you very much for the $1. And Skylar, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. My messages are a little bit weird on the PayPal, and it's like not loading for me right now. William, thank you for the
It's the
$5.
bu-
Thank you very much. I really appreciate PayPal. By the way, if I missed your donation, but I do apologize. My apps for Venmo and PayPal are acting a little bit weird right now. Let me catch up over on YouTube Super Chat. Holy shit, holy shit. Blue Barbie, thank you very much for the $5 for hey Parker. Joseph's confidence in his bullshit is embarrassing and insufferable. I know, right? River Mason, thank you for the $2. Thank you very much. Filthy, thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much. Seriously though, Jack, thank you so much. They said trainer Oscar used Old Rod. Wild Magikarp appears. Wild Magikarp used Splash. That's stuck with the guest. Jamie, thank you for the squeeze. Thank you very much. But if you don't know, in Pokemon, Splash does nothing. That's what the guest is doing right now. Is the move Splash. Jack as well. Thank you very much for the $10. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know he's brutal, isn't he? Mask, thank you very much for the $100. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it because of W's for them. Just letting you know you're on speaker in my house, and my brilliant daughter said out loud when hearing nothing matters about Trump except immigrants or stocks. This is the end stage of psychopathy. I love her. Well, thank you so much, Mask. I really appreciate it. And W's to your brilliant daughter as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Itzy, thank you very much for the $5 as well. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it for helping Joseph rehabilitate his beta lifestyle. Thank you so much. And thank you very much for the $100 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much. They said it's a 12.8% average annual return. Cumulative return is 62%. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Give some W's for MM in the comment section right now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, they're sad about us talking about this. I never hear anyone talk about the stock market, by the way. It's always like immigration or like trans people. So anyway, yeah.
Well,
so it was
it's just that
actually
you're
worse
not. It's
than
just
I
that you're
thought.
wrong and won't acknowledge it. That's kind of the problem.
No,
And then you
no,
also called me
you're
beta,
wrong,
and
Parker.
then you also called me beta, and you got dog walked repeatedly in this conversation. So how does it feel to get dog walked by a beta debater?
Dude, it's funny because you're so wrong about the stock market. It's hilarious.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
but
literally right.
Here's the thing. Even if we were, for
Dude.
the sake of argument, going to say that you were right about the stock market and it's exploding while all these economic figures that actually tell us what life is like for hardworking Americans, if the stock market was exploding while those figures were stagnating, that demonstrates that we have a president who is increasing the wealth gap. That's not a good thing. It would be bad if you were
true.
right.
Okay, well, anyway, so under Trump's first term, the total return of the
He's
market.
just going to ignore it. He's not even going to address what I just said to him. He's just going to pretend I'm not here because he doesn't like what I'm saying.
So I'm finally getting you, Oscar. I'm getting you conceding that the stock market did perform better under Trump. Is that correct? Are you conceding?
No, I'm accusing you of being disingenuous. You know that I said if we were to concede that you were right for the sake of argument, those are the words I used. I did not concede, and you know it. Man up, dude. Come on. Get real. Come on. You're gonna grasp at those straws? Be real.
So can I get you to concede then?
He is going to do that. Wait, hold on.
Perform better.
Hold on, Joseph. Wait, say that one more time, Joseph.
Say what?
Say that stock market growth cumulatively was higher under Biden as opposed to Trump.
No, it was higher under Trump.
Okay, you're just objectively wrong.
No, you're objective. So under Trump's first term, it was around total cumulative growth about 68%. Under Biden,
where'd you get those numbers from? Wait, what is your starting number for S&P 500?
Yeah, I use the same exact.
Yeah, what's the starting number?
So January 20th, 2021 to that. So this would be for Biden's January 20th, 2021 to January 20th, 2025. That would be for Biden. For Trump, 2017, January 20th to 2021, January 20th.
Yeah,
Trump
wait, so what was the number for 2021, January 20th?
Well, now I'm going to have to leave the app again to get the exact number. But...
That's fine.
Okay.
Dude, this guy, bro.
I'm having way more fun hanging out with my cat than him.
I know, right, dude? W cat. W
Merlin.
W Merlin. By the way, everyone, we should be getting off here pretty soon after this guest. We will. If you want to support me as always, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. If you want to be stupid with your money, actually, so stupid. Just letting everyone know. We're about to be hopping off here very soon. If you like my content, follow me if you haven't already. We go live literally every single day, everyone. Every single day. Subscribe if you're new as well. Merlin and Momo. All
Yeah, I
right.
bet my viewers are excited. It's normally my cat Scout that's on my stream. Merlin's more camera shy, but he likes laying down with me. So here's Merlin, everybody. Finally get to meet Merlin.
So cute. So cute. Well, Joseph is looking for something that doesn't exist. Everyone, so give him a quick second, everybody. Aiden, thank you very much for the $1. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Parker, I choose you. Use straight facts. Your attack was super effective. What can I say? Super effective. Alrighty, give him a quick second. Wow, dude, he is taking a while to find this information. This is funny.
I would reckon. Did he answer any one of my questions?
Nope, not a single one. By the way, if you're on YouTube, everybody,
Why am I here?
All right.
hit that thumbs up. Let's try to get it out to more people. We're almost at 2,000 likes, actually. We're at like 1,700 right now. If you want to help push it out to more people, I'd really appreciate it.
All right, Oscar, what questions do you want me to answer for you?
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
yeah,
wait.
why
Can
are
you
you more
respond to what we...
interested in-
Wait, before we do, can you respond?
Okay.
Can you cite the number you just cited for January 20th, 2021?
Okay, so I'm on my phone, so it's a little bit harder to look at the charts. But dude, you can literally just it's public information. You can literally just
So you
Google.
can't?
Dude, it's gonna take me too long to get you the exact numbers because I'm on my phone.
Oof.
So
Oof.
is that the beta male in you speaking?
Says the one who couldn't find the source.
Ah.
Can you define beta?
Yes, it is. I mean, okay, this isn't gonna be the technical definition. This is gonna be my own definition. So if you were to look, if there was a dictionary of the word beta and there were visuals, you would see your face right there.
Can
in
I
the
just get an
dictionary
actual
next to
definition?
beta?
Can I get an actual
Yeah, it would
definition?
be
Because
you.
I could
would
say
be
plenty of
Parker.
things about what you would see your face on.
Yeah, I just told you. You'd see your name. You'd see your face right there next to beta.
Yeah, you want to know the definition of incel? Your
Sure.
face. Your
Like,
face. It would have your face in the dictionary. If we looked up incel, the term would show your face actually, okay, buddy? Incel would come up
Okay.
with you. What can I say?
So a beta male is one who, let me try to think of things that you do. Let's see. Because there's a lot of examples of
So this
kind
to
of
me
a
sounds
beta
like
male
confirmation bias, that you're starting with a conclusion and then looking for things to support said conclusion rather than finding a definition and then saying, I meet that definition. So go ahead and try.
Oh, I saw a clip of you crying
Michael,
like
thank
a
you very
little
much for the
baby.
$100. I really appreciate it. Give some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. Give some W's from Michael in the comment section for the $100 over on PayPal. Can you thank Michael for the $100 for being beta? For like supporting
Yeah,
me being
Michael, I
beta?
think you're an idiot for donating $100.
Wait, but he's supporting me being beta.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You should probably spend your money a little bit more wisely there, buddy. Sorry about that.
How is that unwise?
Yeah, so Parker, an example of you being beta, I saw a clip of you crying like a little baby on your TikTok live.
And Michael, you are right about that, Michael.
And
what was
you were
that?
crying about like people like having to argue about Trump supporters of him being like a sexual predator or something like that. And you were like crying like a little baby or something like that. I don't know. That's just one example.
Wait, so someone came on the live stream and was defending people sexually abusing children, and that caused an emotional response in Parker. Wow, Parker, what a beta. You had an emotional response to someone coming up on the live stream and arguing it's justified to sexually abuse children. Wow, what an unreasonable human reaction.
Meanwhile, Joseph's been a baby the entire time he's been on this call.
Yeah, but
Literally.
you're a professional.
Anyway, by the way,
debater.
did you had to actively search that up to find that? Like that. By
You
the way,
would
I just want to let you know, you had to actively search that up to find that clip. So you're like
you would
looking
think
up
that you would
clips
have
of
a
me
little bit of
crying.
tougher skin, though. That's what I mean, Parker. You think your
Wait,
skin would
I
be a
need
little bit
tougher skin because I had an emotional reaction to someone advocating it's justified to sexually abuse children.
Well, you do this for a living, though, Parker.
Wait, I'm just asking, is that what you're saying to me? That I am unreasonable for having an emotional reaction to someone saying that they that they think it's justified to sexually abuse children?
It's not that you cried. It's just like the way that you did it. It was just like
The way that what about the way that I did it?
I don't know how to explain it. You're just a beta man, okay? That's all. You're just a beta.
So
man.
wait, by the way, got him to concede. So by the way, so you now concede it's not beta to have an emotional reaction to someone thinking it's justified to sexually abuse children.
It's the way that you did it, Parker.
Okay, so it's only just Parker when he does it. By the way, thank you very much for the $20 for Don't Worry, Michael is rich. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Thank you. As well as Brandon, thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it because you're W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. As well as Lucky, thank you very much for the $2 as well. Thank you very much as well. Kathleen, thank you very much for the $5 for Parker Get a Cat. And Jason, thank you the $1 for Here's from another $1 from another beta. Allie, thank you very much. I really appreciate the $2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And Jamie with the $50 for stupidly giving you some of my sign-on bonus for a new job because you are awesome and Joseph sucks. So thank you so much for the $50. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. Can you thank them for the $50? Can you thank Jamie for the $50?
No.
Why not?
Because I think they're idiots for donating their money to you. Like, you probably have way more money than them, Parker, and they're donating like the last like dimes that they have to you. I think it's ridiculous.
Last dimes? So you think the last dime someone has, they're sending to Parker Sedgwick on the internet?
I wouldn't be surprised. And you have probably a lot.
I wouldn't be so wait, so you don't have
any.
any justification for that? Is that just a subjective feeling of yours?
Well, of course I don't have any objective proof of it, but
So it's just a subjective.
It's the most likely scenario.
So are
Would
you
you
just
say,
saying it's
Parker?
predicated? Wait, so are you saying it's predicated off your feelings, not the facts?
No. Would you say, I'm saying it's the most likely scenario. Would you say that you're more likely to have more money than the people who are donating to you? Would you say that's the most likely scenario?
Yeah, I'm a trillionaire. Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Of course.
So it is the most likely
Do you not know that I made $1 trillion last year?
Oh.
I did it
I just
before
think
Elon
it's
did.
stupid. What?
I did it before Elon did.
I heard your trillion is completely liquid too. It's not even an
Yeah.
asset, right?
It is completely liquid. Yeah.
Well, you must have some real estate to store all that cash.
No, I've got actually some really cool shit. You got to see it sometime. It's just store it. It's really, really cool. No extra real estate needed. That's all I got to say. Gabrielle, thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much. Happy birthday to you, by the way. Happy birthday. And your birthday's in October. Okay, well, happy early birthday. As well as Jason, thank you for the 10 cents for your last dime. And Pam, thank you for the 10 cents for your last dime. Metalizer, thank you for the $2. Thank you very much. They said my last $2.
Anthony, $1. That's 10 times a dime. He's really going the extra mile. Thank you, Anthony.
All right. Well, anyway, if there's nothing else to talk about, I'll probably just head out because you guys gave me a headache. So
Wait, Joseph, before you leave, can you thank Downfall for the $5? For the last $5?
Yeah,
And they're spending it here?
I hope that's not your last $5.
They just said it was.
Okay, well, you're an idiot, but yeah.
Wait, no, they're not.
Hopefully
They
you'll
said
get smarter.
They said that they're smart because of this.
Hey, if you stop watching Parker, you'll probably increase your intelligence by quite a lot.
Really? But so like the unintelligent Trump supporter saying that, so it must be the other way around, right? It must be opposite day. Filthy, thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Annika, thank you for the $2. Thank you very much. Yeah, he thinks the liberals are donating to the stream rather than eating. Yeah, that's what he thinks.
Kathleen, thank you for the $10. I'm glad you think I did a good job co-hosting with Parker.
Yeah, you know what? I just think we have such manipulation powers that we can get people to send us money before. And also, let me ask you this question. Do you think Trump's a grifter for begging people to send him money?
I think you're a grifter. I think you are.
What makes me a grifter?
Wait,
For saying MM for the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it for my last 200 dimes. Thank you very much.
Joseph, do you think that the average donor to Donald Trump has more or less money than him?
Yeah, that was such a good question.
Okay, that's actually a good. You know, Oscar, I give credit where credit's due. That's actually a really good
That
argument.
was a really
That's a
good
good argument,
question.
I'm actually not going to argue against that.
You can't. You can't.
Um,
Marine, by the way, thank you for the
I love
$5.
this
And Talia, thank you for the $5 as
Joseph.
well. I know, right? Sorry, you're saying Oscar?
But
I was just saying I was hoping to see him try to defend him. I will say I'm glad that he answered at least one of my questions with a concession. I wish we'd gotten some answers to some of my other questions. Maybe Joseph could call into my show tomorrow or something. We could talk about some of those questions about his priorities in the economy. That would be fun.
See, that doesn't make people donating to Parker good though. Like, just because there's people donating to Trump, that doesn't mean it's good for people to also donate to Parker.
Wait, so you're saying that Trump is a grifter? Because you called me a
No.
grifter because of this. Okay, so Trump's not a grifter, so I'm not a grifter.
No, you are for sure a
Is that you're
grifter.
not inherently
You for sure are a grifter.
What makes me a grifter?
Because money is the main priority in why you're doing this.
Oh, really? So why
So
did I
you
do
make
this?
you make clips. You
Sir.
intentionally make clips to get money.
Joseph, did I make money before I made money? No, right? So did I do this before I made money? Yes. So how could the only incentive to do this be to make money if I did this before I made money?
Because the way that you go about it now, okay, so maybe it started as a hobby, but the way you go about it now is you target certain clips, you target manipulation and try to get certain clips to make people look stupid in order to
Can I
make
tell you
money.
something?
So you're a grifter.
I don't make money off my Instagram clips. That's where my clips go the most viral. I don't make money off this.
Dude, I have 100,000 Instagram followers and I get 5 to 15 million views a month. I've made like $14 in my account's history on Instagram.
I don't even have monetization turned on. Like, actually, I have zero for Instagram.
Yeah. That's why it was so funny. I mean, rest his soul, Charlie Kirk, dude. Like when you would like try to like follow him to his debates in order to get clips, like that just shows you as a grifter.
You mean I went to go debate Trump supporters that were in the area because predominantly there'd be more Trump supporters in the area I could debate in person?
Dude, wouldn't
not
you like
grifting.
follow Charlie to his rallies and like
Yeah,
try to debate him to get in order to get clips for money?
No,
correct?
I was debating people in his audience, and I only did it twice.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
No,
so,
you didn't only do it twice.
yeah, I did.
You didn't follow Charlie. You didn't try to follow him multiple times in order to try to get clips.
Or I guess you could say it was 3 times because I did it one time in Texas, one time in Northridge when I debated him directly, and then one time in Utah Valley University. But that last one was just me debating people who were in line.
Yeah, because unfortunately you didn't get
And
the chance
with
to
the
debate
Texas one, I
anybody.
didn't debate Charlie either. I just debated like people there.
Okay. To try to get clips for money, right?
No, to get clips so that I could have stuff for my channel. And
Oh.
yeah, I do make money off of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that hurt your
Okay.
feelings?
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
so
it does.
Charlie. Wait, so do you think Charlie was a grifter because he would go to universities to debate people for clips to make money?
Well, that's the unfortunate part. Well, so no, I don't think.
Wait, so Charlie was a grifter?
No, I don't think so.
Ah, wait, so that doesn't make me a grifter.
I don't know. I don't know.
Got him. Mac, thank you
It's
very much for
unfortunate,
$5.
though,
Has
because,
Joseph donated to Trump? Have you donated to Trump?
No, I have not.
Oh, that's funny. Kim, thank you for $2. What do you think about people who donate to him? Do you think they're stupid?
Okay, this is gonna sound like this is gonna sound contradictory, but okay, maybe they are. Maybe it is not wise of them to donate their money to Trump.
Not wise, not stupid, not wise.
Yeah, it's not the most wise thing.
Borns, thank you very much for
But
$10
at least-
as
at
well.
least he's
It said
someone who's
again,
doing
Joseph,
something
you
for our
support a president
country.
who believes we should inject a disinfectant into our veins and nuke hurricanes. You are in
See,
no
the
position here
difference
to
is,
call anyone
Parker,
stupid.
You spread delusion. That's the problem.
What
like
delusion?
When Charlie was still here, he was spreading reality.
He thought
Like,
the election was
liberals
stolen in
spread
2020.
delusion.
That's just false. So can you
What's
tell
up?
me what did I spread that was false?
I'm just saying you spread delusion.
What delusion?
I really don't want to get into the debate about it, but because I mean, it's talked about too much. But for example, the liberals support transgenders, women in sports. That's delusion.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wait, supporting trans people is not delusional.
Trans women in that is delusion.
What's delusional about it?
About trans women in sports?
Wait, yeah. Wait, I have a question. If a trans woman is worse than the average cis woman within a particular sport, what's wrong with them playing?
Wait, say that one more time?
Yeah, if a trans woman...
I'm sorry. I have to interrupt. I think Joseph, I got to teach you how to use words. I used to be a high school teacher, so I'm going to pull that out. I don't think you're accusing us of being delusional. I think you're accusing us of being unreasonable. What is it that we think is true that isn't true? That would be delusional.
I'm saying the left side, the liberals in general, support those delusions.
What is the delusion?
I mean, if you think it's sane for a biological man who dresses up like a woman to play,
we're not talking about sanity or
sports,
reasonability. What is the delusion?
The delusion is that you all support that kind of stuff. That's just an example, okay?
Right,
but you all support
it's a fact
that kind
that we
of
support
stuff.
that type of stuff, not a delusion. I don't think you know what the word delusional means.
Well, it is a little bit delusional, is it not?
What is it? Being delusional is thinking that something is the case that isn't. What is it we think is the case that is not the case?
Okay, so maybe I used the incorrect term. I don't fucking know.
Look at that. We got Joseph answering some of my questions.
He has
But you
no
know-
clue
you
how
know
to
what I meant,
answer
though.
any
You know-
of your questions, Oscar. Whenever you ask him a question, he's just so lost, dude.
Okay. Anyway, I didn't even want to. I don't even want to get into debate about it. You guys already. Gave me a
Of
headache,
course you
so-
don't. I mean, I wouldn't want to get in a debate like that. I would lose that badly, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. But I just had to give you an example of the problems that the left spews versus the right.
You
Yeah,
didn't
so,
give an
like, you
example
guys
of any
believe-
problems either. You gave us something that you thought is unreasonable. You didn't name any problems. Once again, be more careful with your words. This is a show where we talk. We use words to convey what we mean. People can't understand you very well if you're not very careful with the words you use.
So you support Trump even though he said that windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before, even though he said that Jesus is if he was the vote counter in California, that he would have won the vote against Joe Biden, even though he said we should look into disinfectant by injection to fight COVID-19, even though he said that he won the 2020 election with no evidence, even though he said that the climate's going to start cooling and science just doesn't know it yet, even though he said that Tylenol usage during pregnancy causes autism when there's a Swedish study with 2.5 million people that overlooked the indicated no association between Tylenol usage during pregnancy and autism after taking into account genetics and siblings. So, I mean, how does it feel to be on the side of literal delusions?
Oh man. I don't know. You talk too fast. So I don't know like what you're saying half the time. But anyway.
At least you're honest about your ineptitude.
At least so. Hey, Joseph. Can before you leave, can you define what a grifter is, like just definition wise? I just want to know before I go and get off for today.
Yeah, it's someone who does something intentionally where the dominant reason for doing so is for money, not necessarily because it's something they enjoy or believe in.
That's
So
a job,
jobs in
not a
general.
grift.
Yeah, a job in general is grifting.
No.
You guys know him?
Hey, everybody. You heard it first, folks, everybody. If you've got a job, you're a grifter, actually, everybody.
No.
Flippenberg is grifting
Hey, do you have a job?
away.
Joseph, do you have a job?
Of course.
What a grifter. Wait, are you mainly doing that job because you make money from it?
I mean, that's part of the reason. It's not the dominant reason, though.
So it's the dominant reason why you work is not because you get paid. So if you didn't get paid, would you still show up to work?
I would still do something that gives my life purpose. Yes.
But would you still
Yeah,
show
that's
up
the
to the work, to the job you're doing?
Sure. Until I found something else that gives me purpose and drive.
You'd do it for free? So with no payment. So if your boss said, I'm not paying you at all, you'd still show up.
Well, what kind of hypothetical is this? Like, I'm the only
Joseph.
one who doesn't get paid. Like, what?
Joseph, yeah, like you're saying if the dominant reason. Now, if you're saying that you would stop doing it, then that means the dominant reason would be that you're making money from it, right?
Well, correct. But I also said that's the reason. But also,
So you're grifting. You're a grifter. Because the
No,
dominant
but I-
reason you show up to your job is for money. What the fuck, dude? Wow, what a dominant reason you show up is for money. Unbelievable. What a grifter, Joseph.
no. But I also said.
All right, Joseph, I'm done talking to you. You're insane.